Distinguished Mayor, Councilor Antonio, Honorable UNESCO Ambassadors, religious and community leaders, respected guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. We are very pleased to have spent several happy days with the UNESCO ambassadors, friends, and guests. It always feels that such time together is not enough, as all too soon we arrive at the end of the event. Tonight's dinner serves as both the Learning College Association's Friendship Dinner and farewell dinner to conclude the activities of our dialogue. Tomorrow, the ambassadors and our other guests will journey home. We hope that everyone had a fruitful trip. Over just a few days of dialogue, we learned much more about how countries are encountering various problems, such as war, conflict, social unrest, natural disasters, poverty, and much more. The solution to all these problems, the most fundamental one, lies in education, especially religious education. The Book of Rites, an ancient Chinese education monograph, says, education is essential in building a country and in guiding its people. The importance of education is evident from the sages' writings. So when I discussed this with the principals and teachers of Chinese schools in Malaysia, I emphasized 10 important priorities. To settle down in one's life, education is essential. To manage one's career and family, education is essential. To build a nation and govern its people, education is essential. To become a well-mannered nation, education is essential. To maintain a stable and harmonious society, education is essential. To help a country be prosperous and stable, education is essential. To help the world to be peaceful and prosperous, education is essential. To foster a stable and lasting society, education is essential. As all Buddha lands emphasize teaching as a priority, the Pure Land emphasizes teaching is essential. Religion is the principal education for humankind, being important, respected, transformational, and indispensable. Religion is a sincere and selfless education, teaching ethics, morality, and causality. It is the sage's teaching and serves as a universal education in a harmonious society. I often say that world peace begins with religious cohesion, religious education, and a mutual exchange of religious learning. Beginning in 1998, I lived in Singapore for 3.5 years and helped unite the 9 religions of Singapore into a single family. We used Buddhism's 4 all-embracing methods to achieve this. Since 2002, we have also used the 4 all-embracing methods to help unite the religions and people of Toowoomba. The key to religious cohesion is constant communication. The 4 all-embracing methods is a method that promotes interpersonal communication. First, give gifts freely, be a generous host, and foster closer interpersonal relations. Second, speak kindly, be sincere, and display care and respect for each other. Third, perform good deeds that benefit others. Fourth, promote friendship and cooperation, share common ideals, and work together for a common cause. In particular, organizing a group tour with those we wish to know better is an excellent way to foster communication. Usually, people are busy and rarely find time to be together. But when traveling, we have the chance to share each other's company, to converse freely, better understand each other, and become good friends. I believe everyone has experienced this during the trip. Nevertheless, the four all-embracing methods is only a temporary solution. The root method is still to promote religious education. The core values of all religions are compassion and universal love. When there is love, we do no harm. When we consider ourselves, we will also consider other people. There is a saying, in wishing to establish oneself, one also seeks to establish others. In wishing to engender oneself, one seeks to engender others. And do not do unto others what one would not want done unto themselves. If everyone can emulate the love of God, the love of Allah, and the kindness and compassion of Buddha to love the world, then there will be world peace. The Dhammapada says, hatred never ends by hatred in this world. By love alone does hatred end. This is an eternal law. The unawakened response to hatred is retaliation and violence. But seeking revenge cannot fundamentally solve the problem. It only escalates it. Revenge and counter-revenge is a vicious and endless cycle. An enlightened person recognizes cause and retribution for 3 lifetimes and understands what happens now is a result of what happened in the past. Good deeds bring rewards, while evil deeds bring harsh retributions. If we hurt others in the past, then we can expect to be hurt in the present. If we understand the law of cause and effect, then we know that the solution is to accept retribution with a peaceful mind, without vengeful thoughts, as if we are repaying a debt. Moreover, the power of compassion is very powerful and can reform the wicked. When one has great compassion, one cannot be harmed. We believe that sincere love can influence all people. When we treat all people equally, we live together in harmony. In this way, all problems can be solved. Ethical education teaches people to get along with others. There is family harmony. When parents love their children, children are filial to their parents, siblings love each other, and spouses share the duties of making a living and educating their children. society will be stable when employers appreciate their employees. Employees are loyal to their employers, and friends are mindful of their integrity. Moral education teaches people to be kind, moral, dignified, rational, and honorable. These are the foundations for the achievements of the saints and sages, and promote the basis for world peace. In the early years of the World Peace Conferences held by UNESCO, I advocated the importance of religious education to educate people on ethics, morality, causality, and the sages' teachings, to promote social harmony and world peace. Some people commented that this was only theoretical and could not be achieved. I have conducted several trials to prove that what I said can be done and can positively influence people in the world. Here is a brief description of 3 experiments for your reference. In 2005, I set up a cultural education center in my hometown. During a 3-year trial, I set up a program to educate people on ethics, morality, causality, and the sages' teachings. I required teachers at the center to first learn Confucianism's guidelines for being a good person, relational and moral education. Also, Taoism's accounts of request and response, causal education, and Buddhism's 10 Virtuous Karmas Sutra, sage education, before teaching others. The results touched the town of 48,000 residents. The residents became honest. Families and neighborhoods became harmonious. Divorce and crime rates significantly decreased, and the environment became cleaner. When a visitor inadvertently left money in a taxi, the driver returned it to the owner. After the owner reclaimed his money, he offered a large reward to the taxi driver. But the driver refused to accept it. He told the owner that this was his duty. In the past, before he received an ethical education, he would have kept the money and not returned it. After having received an ethical education, he knew the truth of life and returned the money to its owner. He also said that this was not isolated to him, as all taxi drivers in the town would have done the same. This experiment showed us that religious education is indeed able to eliminate bad habits and prove that human nature is intrinsically good and that people can be correctly taught. It gave us great confidence. The second experiment was our morality course. 7 days were dedicated solely to ethics, causality, morality, and sage education. We conducted the course in a closed environment without mobile phones or outside communication to help people assimilate the teachings with an undisturbed mind, concentrate on learning, and avoid interference and contamination from the outside world. The manner in which the course was conducted was to play recordings of teachers explaining religious education and how to apply it, including acts of filial piety, such as children washing their parents' feet. Additionally, students would go on stage and share what they learned. After 7 days, the bad became good. The disobedient became filial. The greedy became honest. The violent became harmonious. And some divorcees remarried. The positive effects were obvious. Many people changed their minds as a result of the course and transformed their evil thoughts to kind ones and started doing good deeds. This experiment is ongoing, with more experimental sites being established to benefit increasing numbers of people. This is a very good teaching model and is worth promoting. The material progress of modern society has increased access to information and improved standards of living. But it has also brought about many adverse effects. People's desires have been stimulated. Mental and spiritual pollution have intensified. People have become more impetuous. Morals have declined, and so much more. No matter the truth, people do not listen. Lost in material desires, they have buried their conscience, resulting in myriad forms of chaos around them. As stated in the ancient Chinese narrative history, the commentary of Zhuo, once people lose their constant virtue of humanity, evil arises. It is very sad. To save the world, we must do the opposite and temporarily isolate ourselves from the various interferences of society and concentrate on learning the teachings of religious sages. Once people understand the truth, they will make the right choice, understanding that doing good deeds brings the most happiness. The more saintly and gentle people there are in the world, the better society will naturally become. The third experiment was Happy Business, a non-profit business with the goals of employee happiness and customer satisfaction. After teaching employees the two most basic moral standards of filial piety and respect for elders and teachers, the employees began to implement them. Businesses aimed at achieving a family culture. Owners of the business adopted the parental role. Employees became like brothers and sisters, and everyone loved each other like one family. Supervisors cared for the staff and provided opportunities for employees to practice filial piety and attain ethical, moral, causal, and sage education. Through continuous learning and implementation, the staff experienced personal growth in virtue and happiness. They naturally became more responsible and proactive. This resulted in improved customer service. Although the business had not been emphasizing profit, the efficiency of the business naturally improved alongside the efficiency of natural growth. This superseded modern management models, unable to break through the productivity profit bottleneck. Now, many companies in China and Singapore are beginning to copy the happy business model The results have been outstanding. The aforementioned 3 experiments exemplify the power of religious education. The situation around the world is not optimistic. War between powerful nations is imminent. Humankind is currently facing a crisis of survival. Under these circumstances, the promotion of religious education is even more urgent. If all nations, from individual governments to people from all different segments, can work together at their respective levels to promote religious education, exchange frequent communication, promote religious and ethnic cohesion, then they will become a strong, positive force to reverse the world situation. By promoting global harmony, they will bring peace and stability to all humankind. Last, I would like to invite everyone to embrace divine love and sanctification, to save the world and build a paradise in this world. We wish to see you all again at UNESCO headquarters in September this year. Thank you all.